Hello children, welcome to the geography class. The lesson that I am going to continue today is lesson number 16, Waste Management, Impact on Waste Accumulation, given on page 292 of your textbook. With the following objectives: Introduction, Impact of Waste Accumulation, Meaning of Waste, Sources of waste, reasons for accumulation of waste in urban cities, spoilage of landscape, pollution, impact on human and environment, meaning of pollution, meaning of pollutants, types of pollution, that is air, water and soil pollution, air pollution, its source, some common hazards of air pollution, table 16.1 related to some important air pollutants, their anthropogenic sources and health effects, water pollution, its source, some effects of water pollution on the environment and human life, impact of water pollution on life, oil spills, its effects on marine life, oil slick, soil pollution, its sources, soil pollutants, biomagnification and soil pollution, health hazards caused by waste, effects of waste on aquatic life, fresh and marine life and terrestrial life. Earlier we have discussed water pollution and soil pollution given on page 295 to 297 of your textbook with the following objectives: water pollution and its sources, effects of water pollution on the environment and human life, eutrophication, its cause, its effects, oil spills, its effects on the marine life, soil pollution, its sources, some common soil pollutants, biomagnifications and soil pollution. Now our today's topic is health hazards caused by the waste, given on page 297 and 298 of your textbook with the following objectives: to know about health hazards caused by waste, especially the untreated waste, organic domestic waste, direct handling of solid waste, direct exposure to hazardous waste, agriculture and industrial waste, hospital and medical waste, waste disposal and treatment plants, landfills, reused, recycled waste, chemical and heavy metals, electronic waste, etc., effects of waste on aquatic life, freshwater, marine life and terrestrial life. But before that, let us recall the impact of waste accumulation, air, water and soil pollution through various terms and cross questions covered in the topic. Terms: number 1, waste; number 2, biodegradable waste; number 3, spoilage of landscape; number 4, pollutants; number 5, air pollution; number 6, primary pollutant; number 6, secondary pollutant; number 7, acid rain; number 8, global warming; number 9, smog; number 10, water pollution; number 11, eutrophication; number 12, oil spill; number 13, soil pollution; number 14, biomagnifications. Now let us go through few cross questions which were covered in the topic. Explain the process of acid rain. How is global warming caused? List some harmful effects of the depletion of ozone layer. When does London type of smog occur? What are its harmful effects? When does photochemical smog occur? What are its harmful effects on the environment and human life? Name some major air pollutants. How does eutrophication affect the aquatic life? List some heavy metals released by the industrial pollutants. What are the harmful effects of Minamata disease that occurred due to the contamination of water by the methyl mercury in Minamata Bay in Japan? What are the harmful effects of soil pollution? Now let us proceed to our today's topic, health hazards caused by waste. An introduction. What is a hazardous waste? Hazardous wastes are the wastes that pose potential threats to public health. They produce hazardous chemicals and toxins. They may be liquids or solids containing chemicals, radiations, and pathogens. Some health hazards caused by waste are: many aquatic animals die every year because of plastic bag litter. Many terrestrial animals and eat plastic from dumping sites. Then, waste causes air, water, and soil pollution. The major effect which could be seen till now of the waste was Minamata disease, a toxic disorder of CNS that occurred in Minamata-me in Japan. Health hazards. Human health is directly concerned with the overall quality of the environment. However, in the last few decades, due to humans' desire for rapid advancement, that is quick progress in industrialization, that is the process of setting industries, agriculture and other activities, much damage has been done to the environment. Large-scale deforestation, that is cutting off the trees on a large scale, drastic climatic changes, and pollutants on land, air, and water are some of the unpleasant consequences, that is results, that ultimately or finally affect the human health. So these are the few hazardous waste released in the environment. The dumping of solid waste is hazardous to human health. It has been estimated that about 25 human diseases are associated with solid waste. There is an increase in the number of rats and flies due to dumping of waste in open places, and they are the carriers of other organisms responsible for several dreaded diseases, that is, very harmful diseases. It is a well-known fact that an adult healthy man is exposed every day to polluted air through breathing and to food and water through oral intake. Our skin is also exposed to the environmental chemicals which lead to many health problems and immediately after or after some time. Now, before proceeding further, let us go through various technical terms which will be covered in our today's topic. Number 1, electronic waste or the e-waste. Electronic waste or the e-waste is the discarded electronic devices. DDT. DDT is a synthetic organic compound used as insecticide. It is now banned in India. Pulmonary changes. Pulmonary changes are the changes that occur when lung tissues become damaged and occur and they are scared, that is, they fail to work properly. Edema. Edema is a condition characterized by an excess of watery fluid collecting in the cavities or tissues of the body. Hemorrhage, an escape of blood from a ruptured blood vessels. Fluoride. Fluoride is a salt of hydrofluoric acid consisting of two elements, one of which is fluorine, as sodium fluoride. Now, fluorosis, a chronic condition caused by excessive intake of fluorine compounds marked by the mottling of the teeth and, if severe, calcification of its ligaments. Diarrhea, a common condition that involves usually frequent and liquid bowel movements. Types of hazardous waste and their effects. First type of hazardous waste is chemical hazards. Hazardous chemicals cause harm by being flammable or explosive, irritating or damaging the skin or lungs, interfering with or preventing oxygen uptake and distribution, inducing allergic reactions of the immune system. Many chemicals such as heavy metals, organic solvents, and pesticides are hazardous to human health even at very low concentration, that is, even in very small quantities. Next is cultural hazards. Cultural hazards are such as unsafe working condition, smoking, poor diet, drugs, drinking, driving, and poverty. Many hazards in the environment are a matter of personal choice and lifestyle. Other hazards are due to accidents and lethal behavior of the people. According to WHO, estimated that smoking kills about 431,000 Americans per year, an average of 1,180 deaths per day. Smoking causes more death each year in the United States than do all illegal drugs and alcohol. Health hazards caused by the waste on page number 297 of your book. Health hazards caused by waste. Many terrestrial animals eat plastic from dumping sites, so it may lead to their death even. Next is, many aquatic animals die every year because of plastic bag litter. Categories of person exposed to risk of infections. Mainly the pollution in the environment affects the sanitation workers, medical and paramedical staff, patients and visitors. Landfills causing pollution, they decompose or break down over time, leading to the hazards on the human health and the environment. Then soil pollution. Chemical waste from industries pollute the soil, leading to hazards to human health and plant and aquatic animals. Then infectious waste, pathological waste, waste disposal, sweat sticks, decontaminated dressings, bandages, soiled linen, contaminated gowns, wrappers which are put in the yellow bins. These all are the medical waste which may lead to your waste disposal and which may lead to the health hazards. This is the picture of the organic waste. Now, what is biomedical waste? Biomedical waste includes waste sharps, that example needles, discarded medicines, human anatomical waste, solid waste, example cotton swabs. Who are at risk? Doctors, nursing staff, ward staff, housekeeper, patients and visitors, community, environment. Now let us read the topic from your book, Health Hazards Caused by the Waste. Accumulation, that is gradual gathering of something of waste, is a result of inefficient, that is lacking in ability, infrastructure of waste disposal and affects the human health and spreads infectious diseases. Particularly organic domestic waste, that is the food waste from kitchen, institution, schools, etc., threat since they ferment. Ferment here stands for break down into simpler substance. Direct handling of solid waste can result in various types of infectious, that is the diseases that spread quickly, and chronic diseases, that is long time health illness affecting the waste workers and the rag pickers, that is who pick up the waste from your localities. Exposure to hazardous waste can affect human health. Children most vulnerable, that is easily attacked by to these pollutants, as the direct exposure leads to chemical poisoning. Health hazards caused by waste. Accumulation of waste is a result of inefficient infrastructure of waste disposal and affects the human health and spreads infectious diseases. Here accumulation stands for gradual gathering of something and inefficient stands for lacking in ability. I have already discussed this. This is the picture of the waste which is untreated and it is lying and disposed of openly due to the lack of the space, and thus it is spreading various infectious diseases. The various infectious diseases which can be caused due to waste are typhoid, food poisoning, entering fever, gastroenteritis, skin infections and lung infections. Some other health effects of pollution are headache, fatigue, nerve damage, particulate matter due to the depletion of ozone, then cardiovascular illness, gastroenteritis, cancer risk, nausea, skin irritation, etc. So this picture is showing health hazards caused by the waste due to the lack of the space for dumping the garbage. Now let us read further. Particularly organic domestic waste, that is food from kitchen, institutions, schools, etc., pose a serious threat since they ferment, that is they break down into simpler substances. Direct handling of waste by the rag pickers cause a threat to their life. It may lead to the various diseases in them. Let us read further. Exposure to hazardous waste can affect human health. Children, most vulnerable, that is easily attacked by these pollutants as the direct exposure leads to chemical poisoning. Agriculture and industrial waste cause serious chemical and radioactive hazards to human life. Disposal of hospital and medical waste creates serious health hazards through different diseases due to contaminated, that is spoiled food, drink, or inhalation, that is breathing in. Waste treatment and disposal bins can also create health hazards. Ill-designed, that is badly designed landfills. Landfills is a place to dump the waste of an area. It is generally made in the outskirts of a city, far away from the housing colonies of the people, where the waste is treated by the action of the certain microbiological organisms. They attract all types of insects and rodents that spread diseases. Here rodent stands for mammals like rats, squirrels, mice, etc. So this is again the disposal of medical waste causing threat to human life. I have already discussed this in the previous slide. Landfills attract all type of insect that spread diseases. This is the picture of landfill and it is attracting all type of diseases. Now let us read further. Recycling may also cause great risk for workers as they may experience toxic exposure, that is they may be exposed to the poisonous gases or chemicals. Especially disposable syringes are picked up by rag pickers, that is the syringes which are thrown by the doctors after injecting a person. They are picked by the rag pickers for further recycling and it may lead to the toxic exposure in their bodies. That is, it may lead to the intake of the poisonous chemicals in their bodies. Some chemicals like cyanides, that is the highly poisonous chemicals, polychlorinates, biphenyls and mercury are highly toxic and exposure to them leads to diseases or death. The unhygienic use and disposal of plastics and its effect on human health are a matter of great concern. Color plastics are harmful as their pigment contains heavy metals that are highly toxic, that is poisonous. Children, that is why these days the government is banning the plastics, colored plastic polythenes and is encouraging the use of paper bags and jute bags. Some of the harmful metals found in plastics are copper, chromium, cobalt and lead. Toxic substances, that is poisonous substances, found in waste cause cancer, genetic disorder and fatal human teratogens. Chemicals like arsenic, cadmium and chromium are mostly responsible for cancer. Now, production of toxic gases. Toxic gases are gases that are harmful to humans when intakes or ingested in various quantities. Highly toxic gases are carbon monoxide, chlorine, nitrogen dioxide, and furan. Now, the electronic waste or the waste electrical equipment, it also poses a great threat. It also becomes hazardous when we throw it or discard them away into the environment. It leads to the pollution of the environment and thus causes the health hazards to the people and the animal life. Some of the impacts of health hazards are many toxic chemicals, pesticides, other agriculture waste released into the environment that are taken up by the plants from air, water and soil. Plants growing under such conditions are severely affected by these toxic chemicals. Exposure to high concentration of pollutants may cause acute, that is severe injuries like chlorosis, dischlorination, and even the death of plants. Crops show reduced productivity and yield. The quantity of plant nutrients is also decreased. Sulfur dioxide is the most toxic pollutant which damage the crops. In recent years, the losses to agriculture and animal life due to fluoride content have greatly increased. Besides morphological changes, biochemical and physiological changes have also been observed in many mammals including man. The impacts of waste dumping on marine life are as follows. The growth of marine algae is affected. Massive oil spills, that is the leaking of the oil on a large scale in the water bodies, not only spoil innumerable beaches and estuaries, that is a place where the fresh water meets the saline water, but also cause widespread damage to marine life. Herbicides, that is the chemical which is used to kill the unwanted natural vegetation, and pesticide, especially the organ chlorides, reach the oceans via the wind and rivers and contaminate, that is they pollute the marine water. Now let us read further. Effects of waste on aquatic life, fresh and marine life and terrestrial life. Aquatic life and chemical pollutants, chemical effluents produced by industries are released into rivers and subsequently into the sea. Destroy microorganisms. Acids are lethal to fish and other marine life and thus it may lead to their death. As you can see in this picture, the fishes that were breathing in the polluted water have killed the fishes. The presence of excess amount of chlorine in streams completely destroy the aquatic life. Carbon monoxide is also lethal to fish and its egg, it interferes with the respiration of fish. DDT is most widespread man-made pollutant in the environment. It is fatal, that is it causes death to fishes. As you have seen earlier in the figure 16.14, the fishes have died due to the intake of the chemical substances present in the water. The toxic metals, that is the poisonous metals like lead, arsenic, copper, cadmium, mercury and nickel are also harmful to marine life. Now freshwater marine life. When water containing excess salts is discharged into the rivers, the river course becomes brackish, that is it becomes saline or salty, which affects fish life. Many freshwater fish varieties die in salt water due to osmotic changes. In aquatic ecosystem, cadmium can bioaccumulate in mussels, sister, shrimps, lobsters and fish. These are all the sea foods. Freshwater organisms are thus more susceptible to cadmium than saltwater organisms. Now, its impact on terrestrial life. Earthworms and other soil organisms are extremely susceptible to cadmium poisoning. Chronic poisoning results from consumption of arsenic, lead, and molybdenum. Air contaminated with ozone has irritant qualities and is responsible for pulmonary changes, that is, the changes that occurs when lungs tissues become damaged and scared, that is, they fail to work properly. Edema, that is, the condition characterized by an excess of watery fluids collecting in the cavities or tissues of the body, and hemorrhage, that is, an escape of blood from a ruptured blood vessels in dogs, cats, and rabbits mainly. Another known pollutant is fluoride. Animals are susceptible to fluorosis. Now here fluoride is a salt of hydrofluoric acid consisting of two elements, one of which is fluorine as sodium fluoride. Fluorosis here is a chronic condition caused by the excessive intake of fluorine compounds marked by the mottling of the teeth and, if severe, calcification of its ligaments. Animals are susceptible to fluorosis. Cattle and sheep are most commonly affected animals. Diarrhea, that is a common condition that involves usually frequent and liquid bowel movements. Weight loss, lowered fertility, and reduced milk production are some of the major effects of fluoride seen in animals and cattle. So children, here you could be asked the major effects of fluorides seen in animals and cattle. That is, animals and cattle suffer from diarrhea, weight loss, lowered fertility, and reduced milk production. Now children, at the end, I hope that through this video, you have learnt about the various health hazards caused by the waste, effects of waste on aquatic life, fresh, marine and terrestrial life. Thank you and have a nice day.